As a homeschool mom of many, I really needed a way to organize all of my kids' different schedules and curriculum and all of the different things, all of the syllabi for the different curriculum that they're using and different things like that. I needed a place to keep all of that and have it organized and easy to find. And what I decided to do was create a homeschool mom binder. Now, this does say homeschool portfolio because I kind of use it like a homeschool portfolio. It is going to be a record of our work and all of the different things that the kids have done. And I'm sure as we move to a new state that has more laws and more things that are required from me, I will probably add those to this binder and other things like that. It's not going to be like the kids' individual portfolios, but it's more like a big portfolio of our entire homeschool. So in today's video, I'm gonna take a look inside of this homeschool mom binder with you. I'm gonna show you how I have it set up, how I have it organized for 7 different children, and maybe it'll give you some ideas on how you can keep up with all of those things for your kids as well. All right, guys, so like I said, I decided this year that I needed one central location that would help me keep up with everything for my kids' homeschool. And I decided to just make one big binder. And this one I think is a 2-inch. More than likely next year and in the future, as this one fills up and I see how much I'm actually going to end up adding to it, I'll probably need to invest in a bit of a larger binder. And then, of course, over time, I'll have more kids that are graduating and leaving the nest, and the binder can shrink again. But as of right now, this size is working just fine for me. I have it divided up by our children. So I have 7 different dividers in here. I'm going to take you inside and I'm going to show you what exactly I have in this binder. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Okay, so here is a look at my homeschool mom binder. Like I said, I have several different homeschool portfolio printables in this binder. I'm not using it like an individual kids portfolio. It's more like the entire portfolio of our homeschool and like a record of what we are doing in our homeschool with all of the children. So I actually have these printables in my shop, and they can be used in a ton of different ways, and I'll show you some of them in here. I don't have them all filled out yet, but I'll show you that. And they can also be used for kids portfolios as well. There's different printables that I don't have in here in my binder that can be used for a child's individual portfolio. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing that I have in here in this binder is my schedule that I talked about in a previous video. This is our family schedule, kind of like a timetable. It's broken down mainly for my younger children that I have to work one-on-one with, or that I need to do group work with the younger set of kids. So this is where that schedule lives. I've already made some modifications to this, but this is still like a really good base schedule for me to refer back to if I'm feeling overwhelmed and like I need to get back on track with our day. I also have my homeschool year at a glance. Now I do also have this in my school nest homeschool planner. Keep in mind, this is not actually a homeschool planner. This is more like the brain that I use to pull all of our lesson plans from, that I then transfer either into my homeschool planner or into my kids' individual checklist. So I've talked about those in previous videos. Each of my kids has their own checklist, but this is the binder that I use to get all of that information from, or most of that information from. My older kids do have some online classes that I don't have in this binder. It's okay. I make it work during my Sunday afternoon homeschool planning sessions. So this is the homeschool year at a glance. This is actually a free printable on my website. And right now, this is very, very basic because as you know, if you've been here a while, we are moving soon. So this is very likely to change. I just kind of sketched out the days that we're doing school and the days that we're for sure going to have breaks. Then I have some more printables from that printable pack that I talked about. I have not filled these out yet, and I probably will not fill these out until we get moved and we get settled. But I have information here where I can write down important dates, our websites and logins, a place to write contacts. These are contacts for anything to do with our homeschool. So if we were involved in a homeschool group or something like that, I would put that contact information in here. Any of the kids' extracurricular activities, most likely since we'll be in a state where we'll need an evaluator, I will put that information in here as well, things like that. Then I have a month at a glance page if I decided I want to map out our month, planning our year. Here we have a monthly goal planner, which is always good to have. A goal tracker. This could go in a child's individual portfolio, just as a way to write down the goals that you have for your children. And then a homeschool expense tracker. Like I said, I have not filled this stuff out yet, but this is a great place to keep track of all of those homeschool expenses. I do believe this one is also free in my free homeschool planning pack. It just includes like 3 or 4 different homeschool planning printables. I'll have that listed down below if you're interested. You can get it for free and it'll sign you up for my newsletter, which has typically, I think, pretty good information coming out once or twice a week. Okay, record keeping, assignment tracker if you needed it, grade tracker, reading tracker, service tracker. And then I actually took out my notes because I had several pages of notes from last year. I have several note printables that would go in this section. I just haven't printed them out yet. Okay, now we're going to talk about the stuff you probably are most interested in, and that is what I have in each of my kids' sections. Each of my kids gets a personal divider, and in this divider, I specifically chose these dividers that have pockets because, and I'll show you, let's see, right here. This one's a better example. Every Sunday, I sit down and I fill out our plans for the week. I put it in my planner and then I make my kids' individual checklist. And anytime that I need to make copies for something for the week, whether it's our Spanish class, Latin for my 7th grader, let's see, there's some math. Sometimes I need to make some copies for math, some different math printables. Anytime I need to do that, I will do that for the week. And then I will just slide it in here in these dividers. And then it's good to go whenever I need it. I know exactly where it is. It's already made. I'm not scrambling to make copies, which I have done in previous years. That's not fun. It's so nice to have everything there ready to go. And I can just reach in, find their divider and grab the copy. So that's what the dividers are for. They're for weekly copies, and then the kids do the sheet and then those get filed. I'm still trying to figure out a system. I've had like an accordion, big, huge accordion portfolio thing. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to save of theirs and what I don't. And sometimes, or I really should say a lot of times, these sheets will be trimmed down and then placed in their school nest notebooks. Not always, which is why I'm saying, like, especially for my child who's doing Latin and he has several of these worksheets every week, I'm still trying to figure out a system of where I want to keep those copies. I'll probably just end up getting another binder and saying, hey, this is this child's portfolio, and I'll stick everything in there, and then at some point I'll weed through it and decide what I want to keep and what I don't. But as of right now, this is how it's going. Okay, let's go back. Now, this is my, and there's coffee on that paper, so I am a real homeschool mom. I get coffee all over stuff sometimes. This is my 11th graders little divider, and what I have in here are just some different things from Homeschool Connections. He does a lot of his online classes through Homeschool Connections, and this kind of gave me an idea of different classes he should be taking if he chooses to go to college. We're still working on that. He's still trying to decide exactly what he wants to do with his future, but this is a good scope and sequence for kids who are college bound. So I have that here. And then at the very front of each child's section, I have their weekly schedules. And that includes their curriculum overview. So what I did before we started our homeschool year was I made a curriculum overview sheet for each of my kids, which includes every single subject that they're studying and every single book that we are using for that subject. Each of the kids has this. It's 2 pages long typically. It also includes all of the stuff we're doing for art and music and PE and any of the other electives that they're taking. So all of that is right here at the front of their sections, and it's good to go and a great way for me to just keep track of what they're actually doing for the school year. Now, behind that, I have different things in here for different classes that they're taking. So for example, all of my older kids who are doing Journey Homeschool Academy, I have printed off the weekly reading and lab overview. So that way I have it just easy, handy reference for me. And then anything extra for classes that they're taking that I feel like I want to have a hard copy of. So this is for my son's vocabulary class. I have it in each of those sections as well. Now I'm going to show you what else I have in my younger kids classes, or my younger kids sections, sorry, because my teen does not have this. So let's take a look at this one. So also I do have a section for their recitations. Right now I have pulled those recitations out. They are on the kids' clipboards. When we have finished with that term's recitations, I will put them back in here for reference as, you know, something that I can say, hey, this is what the kids were working on for their recitation. Okay, and then he also has the Journey Homeschool Academy weekly reading and lab overview. And here I have the Mater Amabilis weekly plans. I have them for the term printed out. This is what I refer to when I am sitting down to do their weekly schedules. Each of my kids who have these, and I think that is everyone from 7th grade down, has these weekly plans. I got them straight off the Mater Amabilis website. Of course, you can modify this for whatever curriculum that you're using. If there's a scope and sequence, if there's weekly plans, whatever it is, you can stick it in here under your kids section. This is just the way that ours is set up. So I have it right here, ready to go, and I can go through and, well, I need to actually like check mark when we finish a week. I haven't done that yet, but I can go through and I can say, okay, we're starting week 3. This is actually what I'm going to be doing this weekend. Say we're starting week 3. He's going to read Luke chapter 2 verses 1 to 20. This is what he's going to do for his Bible history, and just, you know, on down. And that is for almost all of his subjects. So the cool thing about these from Mater Amabilis too is that they're editable. So if I wanted to, I don't know that I took the time to really do that with his, but if I wanted to, I could go in there and totally edit it. So for example, when we have switched our science, which I think I did write down. I just haven't like done the weekly plans for it because I just referred to the website for those weekly plans. But if I wanted to, I could go in and type exactly what he's doing every single week for Physical Science Explored. But anyway, that is just how I have each of the kids' sections set up. That way I can refer to it and keep everything straight in my brain. And it's working out so much better than some of the things that I've tried in past years. Now, in the back of the binder, I have a section called lesson plans. And this is where I keep printable lesson plans, mostly from the Mater Amabilis website. So that way, whenever I am trying to plan for our week, I don't have to keep referring back to the website. I can just look in here and I can be like, oh, this is what we're doing for geography this week. I think so far that's the only thing I have put in here is geography. I do need to add a few other lesson plans, like our weather and climate lesson plans and things like that, which I will probably do this weekend when I do my homeschool planning session. But I just want to show you that is what I'm using the very last divider for. Now, one thing that I didn't show you because I don't have it in here, up at the front, I will also keep calendars for any extracurricular activities the kids are involved in, their schedules for their faith formation classes at church, different things like that. We are not doing anything right now, so that's why I don't have anything up there to show you. So that is my homeschool mom binder. So far, we are 3 weeks into our homeschool year, but that system is working so much better than anything I've tried in the past when I have the different weekly schedules scattered around, or I'm going back online and trying to look at stuff while I'm doing my planning. It's just so nice to have it all in one spot. So if this video was helpful for you, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will have more homeschool videos for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.